Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Paul from Vintage Sports Card Finds, and today I just wanted to do a quick update video on some pickups I've made over the last 3 to 4 weeks, I would say, on eBay, of some Hall of Fame type players, and a trade I made as well. So let's start with some football. This one here is a Darryl LaMonica in an XF5 from 1968. See if I can do it so where there's not a shadow. Sorry, we're up on my little workspace, so there you go, Darryl LaMonica, 1968, and then PSA 5. Another PSA 5 from the 69 set, Sonny Jurgensen. I don't know if Sonny Jurgensen's a Hall of Famer. I think he is. But nice looking card. Off center. Probably why it got the 5. The corners are sharp. Solid looking card for a 5. Then I want to start with the so I made this trade. A guy comes into the flea market, and I had a Ricky Henderson rookie and a PSA 7 that had been sitting around for a long time. The book value on that card was probably like, not book value, the comps on that card was probably like $100. So I ended up making a trade with the guy for this Enos Slaughter and a couple of other things. It's Enos Slaughter and a PSA 2 from the 55 Bowman. And this card looks pretty good for a 2, I'm going to be honest. I didn't really see any major problems. I was looking for like a big crease. There is a little bit of a wrinkle right about here. I don't know if that comes through on camera or not because of the glare of the plastic. I'd have to take it out of the plastic. But anyway, this was one of the cards I got out of that deal. I got a couple of low-grade Pete Rose cards that, you know, I probably sell for $10 at the flea market. That were also PSA. This one right here was one I needed for my 64 Giants set. Captain Carl, 1964 Topps Giants, Carl Yastrzemski, and then 8. These cards, as I've said before, and this is an old holder, these cards, as I've said before, they tended to survive pretty well for big cards, you know what I mean? And that always kind of shocked me that these cards didn't get more banged up given the era, the time frame when they came out, and everything. But being a huge Red Sox fan, I love this Carl Yastrzemski card. So the Yastrzemski was about $60. The Slaughter was about $20 in a PSA 2. The Pete Roses, there was a mini Pete Rose from 75 graded. There was a Casey Stengel from 64 that was miscut. It was a 6 miscut. So that all sort of added up to about $100. And I was like, I don't know, man. I really wanted this card, and I wanted this card, and I wanted some cash for the, you know, whatever, $20 or something like that. These two cards, the ones I showed you, were the ones I wanted. And then I wanted like $20 in cash, you know, to make up the difference. The guy didn't want to spend cash, so I ended up taking those other two cards plus, and I was really kind of reluctant to do it, except he ended up throwing like the big cards from 86 and 87, 2 complete sets of each for Donruss. So I was like, I want to add those to my binders, and they're complete, and they were in good shape. So I was like, that's something I don't have to chase around. So it worked out well. Yeah, the Yastrzemski was a nice pickup. I'm excited because it's a card I needed for that giant set, and it was I didn't have to pay any money out of pocket. This one here was an eBay purchase. Most of these cards that I'm about to show you were from separate eBay purchases, all right in and around $20. So the Brooks Robinson here, 1968 VG3. Waxing is the issue on this card. So whoever had it graded could have tried to have cleaned that up and then send it in and see what happens. But they didn't. They sent it in as is, which is okay. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes, adding more scratches to a card doesn't really help either. But because this is a pretty, it's got some rounding on the corners and whatnot. You can see it. But I would say the biggest thing is the wax stain. It just kind of goes right across the card there. But it's got good eye appeal, and it's nicely centered, so I like that one, especially for the price. This one here is a Phil Necro 69 in a near mint 7. Really sharp card. I thought really well centered. There's a little bit of a top to bottom issue, but overall, I like the card, and the price was right. Again, probably $15 to $20 on that one. This one also was pretty much steel. A Billy Williams in an excellent to mint 6. I know I didn't pay. I might have, with tax, I might have gone over 20, a little over 20 for this card. Really nice condition. Excellent to mint 6. There's Billy Williams, Oop, heck's that? Get that off there. So Billy Williams in a 6. It's a nice looking card. And one I'm happy to add to my collection is 68. I probably have a Billy Williams in my binder, but I just thought an opportunity to buy a nice card like this in a slightly higher grade was cool. And my most recent video, and I know I haven't been putting out as many videos as I typically like to, but my most recent video focused on the 1968 Topps game card set. And, and there was some graded cards, which included like Hank Aaron. I think there was a Willie Mays, a Yastrzemski, I think a Pete Rose that was graded. And so then I found myself with an opportunity to buy this card to add to that group. Now, I have a Clemente that sits in the binder with the rest of the 68 Topps set, but I was like, pick up a Clemente I already graded. This one I paid more than $20 for. I paid around, I think I won the auction at $22.50 maybe. And then, of course, you had, whatever the shipping was. So this one probably came out closer to $30. But I love Clemente, love picking up Clementes. So, nothing wrong with picking up graded Clementes. They're easy sells. So if I ever upgrade this card, let's say I get a 5 or a 6 at some point, putting out a Clemente already graded is about as easy a sell as it gets. You know what I mean? So, and I can certainly hold out and get my money back. That'll be no problem. So, this will go nice with the other group of cards. As I was sort of putting together a graded version of this set, I guess. But someone did reach out to me on YouTube about some of these cards that they had to sell, but they were raw. I was hoping that he was going to say they were graded, because I would have been interested in that, to be able to pick up a bunch of graded cards. The raw ones, not so much, only because, unless they were mint. So I have a Clemente. My Clemente that's raw has some issues. Like it's got a corner issue here and whatnot. So I would have no problem if someone had a nice, crisp 68 Clemente upgrading that card. There's a few, the Al Kaline, I wouldn't mind upgrading that card because I think that was one of the cards he had raw. So there's a few in the raw set that I wouldn't mind upgrading a little bit. But, you know, had they been already graded, that would have been awesome because it would have been, again, an opportunity to pick up 4 or 5 or 6 cards that he had for sale ready for, you know, to add to this grouping that I already have. So that would have been cool. That's it. These are the latest pickups. Let me know in the comments which ones you like, which cards you like the best. I'm always look to engage with comments. So if you guys have any, you know, feel free to engage in the comments. It really helps the channel. It also helps if you like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's 100% free. So I don't do any paid promotions or any of that type of nonsense. I don't have any Patreons or whatever. This is just for the fun of the hobby. So, but, you know, as always, you know, I want to try to get out information to as many people as possible and learn information from as many people as possible. I watched a video recently. This has a sort of a diamond cut to it there. That's probably one of the reasons it's got some staining. It's probably one of the reasons it was for. I watched a video from someone else the other day, and I learned something I didn't know, and that was that some of these cards that have film. Again, my area of my wheelhouse is vintage. So, but of course, I've seen cards from the 90s that have that film, you know, on the front. And I assumed, just because, right, to get a 10, you want the card to be in its most, you know, original state, you know, if you will. And so I assumed you couldn't get a 10 on those cards with the film on it, without the film on it, rather. But it turns out, I learned from that video that you can peel it, and it does, and you can get a 10. You know, so I put in the comments when I spoke to the creator of the video, I was like, you know, this is really cool because I learned something today that I didn't know. Again, a little bit out of my wheelhouse from those cards in the 90s and early 2000s. But you come across those cards and, you know, if you ever want to have one graded, you'd want to know. That's good information to know, right? I mean, it's just good information to know. So I'm always watching videos to learn. I sometimes put out videos, especially early on, to get feedback and understanding, and I ask questions in my videos as well because I certainly don't have all the answers at all. So I love when people put in the comments more detail about a certain set or how it was released, how many, you know, was it released in packs or could you buy it in rack packs or that type of stuff that I don't know because, you know, I wasn't on the planet in 1968. Right. So, learning stuff like that is so cool. And that's one of the best parts of being on eBay. I mean, on YouTube. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. All the links are in the description below. If you want to reach out to me, you have any cards for sale or, you're looking for anything in particular. God knows I've got cards everywhere. So I might have something you're looking for. So you could always reach out that way. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, guys, happy hunting. Thanks.